a police chase. This has now made its way into Independence. You're going to see that car right there. That's a blue SUV that's southbound on 40 highway, I believe. I just heard. And we don't know why police started following this car in the first place, but all right, here we go.
All right, he's going to get out and jump out and maybe run into the woods at this point. But this chase has gone on for at least 10 minutes or so that we've been watching.
Or even longer than that, from what I've been told. All right, that person that was driving either threw something out, was contemplating getting out of the car, but clearly has got back in and is flooring it. We've seen, Ellen, as we've been watching this, driving extremely dangerously, high rates of speed, has been blowing through intersections, has been blowing through stop signs, and now I'm hearing that this is on Raytown Road. But look, you can see how fast it's going as it blows by that white car there.
So now he's kind of in a residential area, and before he got to this point, he was on a much busier area. He was blowing through stop signs and passing a number of different cars. Now he's going back. We believe, again, this is Raytown Road, so he's done a U-turn and circling back. Not sure if police were behind him. If they were behind him, then that's probably not a good idea to go back in the other direction, but maybe he can evade police from that. So this is just west of Blue Ridge Cutoff, and he's continuing. This is the Snyabar area, if you're familiar with it. He is just blowing by and just trying to get past police if he can. What we're trying to get in touch with police right now and try to figure out why he is running from police in the first place. Was he, involved in a traffic stop and just took off? We don't know. So that's something that we are in touch with police on, and hopefully we can get some more information on that.
Clearly evading police right now, and we haven't seen in any of the chopper shots that we've seen, we have not seen police officers following. Doesn't mean that they're not following him right now. Now it's near 435, just south of the stadium. So now a better indication of where this guy is going and the area that he's traveling in. And again, this is, here it is, 10 minutes after 6, rush hour, streets busier than they are normally. But luckily, so far, there's been a couple close calls, Ellen, where we've seen him almost run into another car on the road, but so far, nothing yet.
And so now he's northbound on Ozark, and if you are familiar with the stadiums, you know that when you're traveling kind of around them, just south of the stadiums, that there are a lot of windy roads, there's some houses here and there are some businesses, but it's pretty difficult to kind of maneuver around. And that, I believe, is 435, I believe.
Yes.
So he's probably trying to get back onto a major road, but at this point hasn't done so yet, just kind of been circling around near the stadiums. We have been told by police that the police helicopter is just following him at this point. So we don't see police on the street following him at this point. So we just have Chopper 5 in the air and a police helicopter following this man who is desperate to get away from police. This is in a blue Jeep, kind of like a Jeep Liberty. We're not sure the exact make of it, exact model of it, but that's certainly what it looks like, a Jeep SUV.
Well, he doesn't slow down at all when he gets to intersections. He's westbound on Raytown Road right now. As we try to zoom in a little bit closer there, now heading toward the stadiums, but
and it looks like the front left tire. It looks like there's
some
damage on that. So this can't last too much longer if he has some damage on one of those tires. That's not going to bode well for this guy here.
Well, it doesn't appear as if that's gone flat yet, but he's doing everything he can to evade. We can't tell if there's anyone else in this vehicle with the driver. Again, we don't know why this started, and we can tell you that we just mentioned a couple minutes ago, there are no police officers following from the ground, but police do have a helicopter up in the air, and they're following this just as the Chopper 5 helicopter is. So police are not following from the ground. They are following this from the air. But this guy's doing whatever he can to make distance from whoever he thinks he's running from.
And you can definitely, he just went under kind of this, it's like a railroad track, kind of a bridge. If you know the stadium areas, you know exactly what we're talking about. It's so windy around that area, and it's really difficult to try to make your way onto 435 if you're lost, if you're trying to get away from police at this point. But clearly he was going towards the stadium and then did a big U-turn. So now he's under I-70 at this point and circling around, and we're just watching. But yeah, again, it looks like the left front tire looks like there's some damage there. I don't know if that, well, maybe not. I don't know. It sure looked like it. Maybe it's the bumper that it looks damaged. So it looks like there's one person right there.
That if he had tire damage, there would be a problem right now. But you can see he's clearly in distress there and doing whatever he can to get away. He's been driving dangerously. He's been driving at high speeds. At one point, he stopped in a wooded area. We thought that he either might try to get out and run on foot, or he might try to throw something out. But here he's now in some pretty heavy traffic now in rush hour. So let's hope for the best here and hope that there is not an accident. But now he is right in the thick. This is on, Dennis, is he on ice? Is this I-70 that he's on right now? But you can see the police helicopter there that is staying overhead. Chopper 5 clearly staying out of the police chopper's path. But you just keep your fingers crossed during something like this as this driver continues to do whatever he can to just get out of the area wherever he's running from and why he's running. We still don't know that either.
Right, and so now it's just about 5:15, or 6:15 rather, if you're just joining us. We started following this chase just after 6 o'clock, and this man has continued to evade police. Now he's getting closer to downtown. So he's on 70, closer to downtown, and as you know, around 6:15, that time near downtown, there's going to be some traffic that he might run into, and you can see it's starting to slow down already just a little bit. And as he makes his way towards downtown, he might run into some problems as traffic gets congested. Now he's just going. He just keeps on going right there. Chopper 5 is above the police helicopter, so you might see the police helicopter below from Chopper 5. But Chopper 5 is giving you a great vantage point at this point, showing you exactly what's going on. We have just seen one man in driving. He has the window rolled down. He appears to be a white man who is just doing whatever he can to get away from police. But this chase, when we picked it up, it was in the Independence area, then it went towards the stadiums, and now he is moving west on I-70 towards downtown Kansas City. Yeah, at a pretty rapid clip here, and it's going to continue to get more congested as the blue SUV, the blue Jeep there, gets closer and closer to the downtown area. Should be there pretty quick, and not too much more time. He's getting closer. Again, we watch and you hold your breath because, you know, none of these people that he's passing, they have no idea what's coming up behind them. They have no idea. They look at this as just this guy is speeding, but they have no idea that he's on a dangerous tear to get away from police, and he's going to do whatever he can to get away from them. Yeah, and he'll go in the shoulder. There he is. He's going in the shoulder there, past Prospect, zooming past semis, zooming past other cars. And now he's starting to make his way into the left lane there, again, westbound on I-70. And we can't tell if he's talking to people. I mean, he's clearly looking around in the car there. If he's looking to see if police are behind him, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see, though, he knows the helicopters are following him with his window down. It looks, is he on the phone right now? You know, I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell. But we're going to sit here, we're going to continue to watch this. I mean, this is what's happening on the streets of Kansas City right now. You're watching it live with us as we hope that this ends peacefully. Police have maintained that they are not following from the ground. Police chopper is in the air following this. But this guy is bound and determined to get as far away as he can from what he thinks is following him. But he's not going to be able to get away from the police helicopter. Yeah, that will be very difficult. Now, you know, and the speed limit in that area is about 55, 60 max, especially when you get closer to downtown. So this guy, we have seen, you can estimate at least going 85 to 100 miles an hour at times. And here is that congestion as folks get a little bit closer to the downtown area on I-70, and he's moving into that shoulder. That's going to be a tight little squeeze right there. Yeah, there he goes, weaving in and out on the south side of the loop, weaving in through traffic. He's just passing by the Sprint Center, so that gives you, you know exactly where he is right now
And most of these people, they've been working downtown and they're making their way home now and have no idea that this guy right behind them or beside them is doing whatever he can to get away. So a little glitch from Chopper 5 as our camera will come back up here in just a second. Here we go.
And there might be a few glitches in this particular area. Sometimes that happens, especially when he's going under, all those overpasses. So just be prepared that Chopper 5 might kind of come and go from here. But once again, he's right near the downtown area, just past the Sprint Center and continuing. That is the convention center that he's going under now. So we'll see if he makes his way towards I-35. That could possibly be the next stop. And did it come out from underneath the convention center? There he is. Yes, he did.
Yeah, right there. Center of the screen.
So we just keep zooming by. And the thing that you just don't want to see happen is a crash or something else. Whoa!
Oh, there we go. He just...
Oh, the tow truck. The tow truck messed him up right there. He's still going, though. So he clearly hit the left side of his vehicle on the concrete median when that tow truck, the tow truck had no idea. He was just trying to get out of the way.
He was just moving out of the way and did not stop, didn't even really slow down once he bounced off the side there and hit that concrete. But to recap, we don't know why this guy is doing this. We don't know. We'll be asking police. We'll get to the bottom of this. But right now, he is endangering the lives of people on this stretch of road in Kansas City as he blows by them and then changes lanes, continuing to do whatever he can to try and escape. We don't know what he's escaping from. Chopper 5, the police helicopter, not letting them get out of their sights. But he continues on his run to get away and again, making this a dangerous 6 o'clock drive through downtown Kansas City. So he is still, I believe, on I-70. He didn't exit. Oh, and there's a police car just in front of him. There. I don't even know if they, oh yeah, well, they certainly know. There's two SUVs. And we're on the Kansas side now. So he's crossed from Independence, Missouri, and then now into Kansas. And you wonder, you would assume that those police officers kind of had heard radio scanner to kind of see that there was a chase, but it doesn't look like they're actively pursuing this guy at this point. Well, he blew right by them, and it didn't look, they were making no maneuvers. They weren't speeding up. They weren't trying to box him in. So that'll be interesting to find out as we hear about this later on from police, from authorities, how they attack this. But there he goes. He continues on. Dennis, I'm assuming he's still on 70? He's on the 18th Street Expressway. So he's on I-35 right now, traveling west on the Kansas side. But going lane to lane. He's not going as fast as he once was. But still, this is not safe. Yeah, and this has gone on for quite some time, and it stretched again. As we said, he was, maneuvering around the stadiums and kind of the windy roads that circle both of the stadiums. Thank goodness the Royals had an early game, and they got out early today, so we didn't have to worry. It was Kids' Day at the K, so thank goodness he wasn't driving around the stadiums when the kids were all leaving the K, so that wasn't an issue. But he's still continuing. Not sure where he's exiting at this point. We can see where he is exiting. See. Okay. So he's still moving along. And folks, we're just going to keep following this until there's a conclusion. It crashes if he runs out of gas, possibly. It looks like 635 now. Okay, so he's on 635 north as he continues to just blow by people as he, really getting close to these people now. Just no regard for anyone's safety on the road right now. And that's what makes people so angry about these chases. Again, we don't know if this was a minor traffic infraction that he was being, we don't know if this is a stolen vehicle. We have no idea why police or why he began running from police, but the danger of what's happening here right now, the danger he's putting people in, That's what gets people so upset about these chases.
And we just had a chase yesterday, involving law enforcement from across the metro too. And, there are, of course, procedures in place where police don't necessarily pursue someone who's going 100 miles an hour in a residential area, and they do that for people's safety. They want to make sure that, they're not pursuing someone and they get involved in a crash themselves. So at this point right now, what we can see is that is the police helicopter down below Chopper 5, off in the distance. So the police helicopter has not let this guy out of their sight at all. And Chopper 5 is following very closely as well as he continues to keep on going. Now, what could possibly happen is that if there's enough communication, they can put out stop sticks, for example, to try to stop this guy. But that's something that could potentially happen in the future. And that's something that we'll keep looking for.
So at one point, when we first began following this for you, now going on about 10, 15 minutes ago, he was in a wooded area in the Raytown area and stopped the vehicle. And at that point, we thought it was over. Either he was going to get out and run or throw something out. Oh, look out. Oh, there's a crash.
Wow.
Just hit a car, and he keeps on going.
Wow.
So right at that intersection, he nearly was T-boned or T-boned that car. We have no idea the condition of the car that he hit, but this guy, who's been driving dangerously ever since we first started following, hits a car. There are going to be people out walking, and they have no idea what's coming at them. And this guy has clearly shown that he has no regard for anyone's safety as he continues to blow by. Oh, look out! And was that a police car, or was that just a car that was trying to get out of the way?
Someone was trying to get out of the way, and he just keeps going.
Well, this just keeps getting more dangerous and more dangerous, and you can see now he's getting into a lot of traffic here.
And he's blowing through stop signs. He's blowing through stop lights. Near 57th Street, I believe, is the next stop that he just went through. So he's still continuing to go here. And then, to see, if you're on the other side and to see someone driving like that in oncoming traffic at you would
so
just
erratic.
be scary.
Terrifying. You can see,
Gosh.
As he blows by cars, there have been a couple that have, literally trying to get out of his way. As they, hit the panic button as you see somebody in your rearview mirror who's coming up behind you. But, he's really picking up speed here now. Look at him blow by. This is not good.
Yeah, and again, here's another intersection. Blew through that. Did the quick old right turn.
And again, if you're joining us right now, we've been covering this for at least 15 minutes now. You don't see any police cars following in the distance or in the background. Their police have made a decision not to follow. That's what we were hearing from them. They are following this guy using the police helicopter in the sky. He's just gotten off that road. And so Chopper 5 and the police helicopter haven't let him out of their sights yet. So this guy trying to get away, it's not happening with the police helicopter over you.
So I'm just hearing from our producer that we can see off in the distance some patrol cars pursuing him. Yeah.
There's two right there.
And so, maybe they can corner this guy at some point. But as we've seen, and this is where he's in the residential areas, which can be so dangerous. And, it's a nice night out. A lot of people are out right now. 70 degrees, it feels good. And a lot of people are already off work now. So this is where you just hold your breath here.
Well, you don't know. There hasn't been. It looks as if, is there a rhyme or reason to where he's going? Is he looking? A lot of times as we follow these chases, they're looking for either somebody's house or they're looking for a destination where they're either going to drop something off or they're trying to make it back home. We don't know in this case what this guy's up to, or if he has a final destination, or if he's just crisscrossing through town, scrambling, thinking he's getting away from officers. But as you saw just moments ago, police are now following this guy, and they're not too far behind him.
Yeah, and this, I mean, as you know, it's just, it can't last if he's just circling around and there's no rhyme or reason. At one point, if you are just joining us, we did see him stop, and we thought at that point he might get out, might run in the woods, or maybe he threw something out of his car. Could have been drugs, could have been something. All right, here's patrol. Patrol has just pulled up to him.
And let's see if they make a maneuver here. But clearly, they have become much more aggressive in their pursuit of him just within the last few minutes. As we all watch, just like you are at home, we're holding our breath just like you are, hoping that nothing happens. Nothing bad happens to anyone who's unsuspecting of this guy on the road, who's at least topped 100 miles an hour at various different points of this chase, and he's not slowing down. He's not slowing down at all.
No, and you just wonder what on earth is that bad to make someone run.
Well, and to make the situation even worse.
We know he hit at least one car. There was one crash, so someone, unfortunately. All right. Okay, so he's in a parking lot. He just did just did a circle maneuver right there in that parking lot, and now police will be in pursuit of him now that he's back on the road.
Well, you think about the police officers who are in pursuit, and you know, they're worried about pedestrians, and they're worried about intersections, and they're gauging, you know, their pursuit is how close can I get without endangering other people? Can I get closer? Okay, that was Leavenworth Road that he just crossed. As we continue to follow this guy who is just set on crisscrossing through Kansas City. He's been in Raytown. He's been in Missouri. He's been on the Kansas side, blowing through intersections. He's hit a car. We don't know what the condition of the person is who was in that car that was hit. We don't know if they were injured. We hope not. We've seen him hit a median as he was dodging from a tow truck, as that was on, I believe that was on I-70, or was that on I-35?
Yeah, it was right on I-70, right near downtown, and yeah, I mean, just kept on going, and he just keeps on going, even after hitting concrete and hitting another car. And it looks like there's another police car there, an SUV possibly. He just spun out there.
And at this point, we believe he's alone in the car. We're not 100% certain about that. Okay, here we go with more officers right on his tail right now. Again, driving by, you know, this isn't quite as populated of an area, but these are homes that they're driving by and intersections.
And they have him surrounded here, maybe, yeah. That's because that SUV was another police vehicle. So we've seen at least 3 patrol cars, 2 cars, 1 SUV that are following him besides the police helicopter. Yeah, they're really trying to get this guy to stop right now.
And this, well, he's not giving up. And they are right on his bumper right now. This has been a tense chase from the moment we started watching this. It's been clear that this guy would do anything he can to evade and to get away. And for a while, there were no police cars. There were no officers in pursuit on the ground. That has now clearly changed. And once again, right when it looked like they might have him pinned, he now has got away again, or not got away, but he's put a little distance in between him and that car right behind him, but they are really sticking on his tail.
Yeah, they really are. And Tupper 5's doing such a great job right now, keeping a close eye, the camera on this suspect here and the police who are in pursuit. Chopper 5 giving you a great bird's eye view of what's been going on. And
okay, look out here.
There we go. We might bump that vehicle. Looks like the police officer did bump the back bumper, but he's still going. And as we've seen, even though he...
Okay, let's see if they try to spin him out right here. Nope.
Oh, they're trying.
And it looks like
he may
be having, he may either have a flat, or he just took that corner too hard, and we saw some smoke there coming up from that front left tire. But he's still going.
Okay, so he's now approaching Kansas City, Kansas Waterworks, if you're familiar with this area. Oh, crash. Slammed into a ditch.
All right, well, there's the end of the chase, and he now, you could see his head look out of the window there, and now police, this is a dangerous moment. We don't know what this guy is, we don't know what this guy is going to do, but police will clearly be getting out of their squad cars with guns drawn and barking directions at this guy.
And what he needs to do is get out with his hands up if he wants to get out of this thing alive.
So he hit that little ravine there. Okay, here he goes.
Oh, he's running. He's trying to run. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, now he's just running in the woods.
Well, the good news here is that he's out of that dangerous car, and that car was being used as a weapon on the interstate and all throughout the roads in Kansas City. But this guy, after being in that accident, you would think he hit that pretty hard, and gets out of the car and takes off running into those woods. So now those officers are in hot pursuit on the ground following this guy. This is the chase that won't end.
Yeah, so this has ended in KCK near Dickinson, if you know the area, Dickinson and 59th. So he's in the woods here. And it was crazy. He kind of did this peekaboo move.
Right.
And then he just darted. I guess he thought they weren't looking or something. And then he darted out the other side of the car. But, I mean, there's no way. This guy can't make it very far. And it looked like just one person in that vehicle, too. One man.
One person got out. Well, this is... if he was trying to make it into some woods to possibly run away, I mean, he succeeded in at least doing that, but he does have those three officers, or what it looked like to be three officers, who got out and were chasing him. They've kind of melted into the foliage there of this wooded area. It's hard to see, but Chopper 5 is going to stay over the scene here as we peer through the leaves just like you do and try to see what's going on, underneath these trees. But it did not end well for this guy, and it's not going to end well unless he's able to get away. And not that we're advocating for that at all, but this guy was clearly desperate. I mean, crashes that car. He knew that police officers were right there, gets out of his car, and then runs off, his wrecked car, and runs off. And
you can see that their backup has arrived in full force. So we had 3 police vehicles. We had 2 cars and 1 SUV, and those 3 officers, they did such a great job, and they were able to track that guy and make sure that he lost control, and then now we're chasing him. But you can see that backup has arrived. There are multiple vehicles, multiple agencies on the ground, and hopefully they will soon bring this guy into custody, and we can show that to you if they're able to do that. But especially when a chase ends like that and ends, it's so tense because you just want to make sure that everyone is safe. You want to make sure that the police officers are safe. Bringing in someone who didn't care, who had no regard for anyone's safety or life, as they were just trying to get away from police, trying to avoid a trip to jail. But that's exactly where this guy is going to be going. And this is not a huge, as you can see there, I mean, that wooded area it's not a large area. It's surrounded by roadways, so I wouldn't think that this would take too long to find him in there. Those officers are scrambling and running and doing everything they can to find this guy and not let him get away. And it looks like they have him. There he is. They do, yeah. There he is in cuffs, and he's being led away by police, and he'll be put into the back of that squad car. And there you have it. This chase is officially over. It sure is. So that chase started just after 6 o'clock. We brought it to you live here on KCTV5. It went from Missouri, it was in Raytown, it was in Independence, then it crossed over into the downtown Kansas City area, and then over to KCK, where it eventually ended in KCK. And he hit the, there was that collision of which he was traveling pretty fast and hits the collision of that car. So we'll be checking on the condition of that driver, but that's the end of the crash right there here at 59th and Dickinson.